190 podcast episodes, hundreds of live streams on Twitch, and how many new original videos have we posted to YouTube? 0. We fix that right now. That's Bob Galen.
And that's Josh, the Hitman Anderson.
You know what? He calls himself Bobby G, but I don't think anybody else does.
What? No one calls me Bobby G.
You call yourself Bobby G.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no one else does.
I mean, I have aliases.
You can't give it aliases. You can't give yourself a nickname. I've tried.
I have multiple aliases. I'm not kidding. You've not heard them?
No.
Like Roberto Gallini?
No.
No?
No.
From the Cuomo, Italy Gallinis?
Like a hitman? Like
Mafia? Yeah, talk smack to me now. Go ahead, talk smack. Yeah.
Okay, so today's topic, trying to get back on track, which is always difficult with Bobby G, a.k.a. Robert.
Now everyone will see he blames me, throws me under the bus all the time. And it just, I don't, it's not warranted.
No, you're there. The bus is already traveling. You tend to jump in front.
Throw me under the bus. So we're going to talk about why do we do this?
Yeah.
And I've been asking myself,
too?
As I wake up in the middle of the night screaming, why do we do this? Why don't we bounce back and forth?
Yeah.
So one of the reasons for me is I like coming down to Fuquay Varina, North Carolina. Yeah. It's a nice drive through quaint countryside. There's cattle on both sides, horses, pastures.
Does it harken back to your childhood?
It harkens back to the farm that I was raised on. So that's one thing. It's not the primary thing, but that's one reason.
Okay.
How about you?
Are you serious with that?
No, not really.
I didn't think so. Because we do half the episodes at his house, so that's not, I feel like that's a cheap shot. But that's okay. My town can take it.
Because it has a hyphen.
Yeah, exactly. A dash more.
So why do you subject yourself to this?
Well, we talked about this topic before we got started, and my initial response was pain. Like, I don't know why. Because Bob, mild-mannered, wonderful Agile coach Bob, if you give him an inch, he will take a mile.
What I honestly don't understand these gross exaggerations from you sometimes, right? Like if you give me an inch, I give someone a mile. Now that resonates with me.
All right, so maybe we should get serious with this before people go watch a different video. Since this is our first one, we should at least make it darn good.
I do it because I have fun.
Yeah.
Hanging out with you. One, so I have fun hanging out with you. Two, I think we make a valuable contribution to the Agile community. As I was talking to Josh before the session, I took a class this week with Mike Burrows, and in the UK, he's a coach in the UK, and everyone there, I was the only one from North America attending the class. And a couple people had listened. One guy had listened to a lot of the Metacasts. He had listened to the what was the one vulnerability?
Yeah,
a recent, and he had talked about vulnerability. So here I am in a virtual class with a bunch of folks from Europe, and the Metacast is over there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So we're making a difference to some degree. I'm not gauging how much, but we're making a difference.
Yeah, those are the two things that stick with me is I always describe it as it's an excuse for two friends to get together on a regular basis and maybe poke fun at each other, maybe create some content that adds value, which is the thing that we've been really excited about. Yes, we'd get together, but there's a fair amount of work that goes into making this happen. So the thing that keeps us going,
he does most of the work. So you have a video record.
Wow. Okay.
Right. No, I honor that and I appreciate it.
Oh, well, thank you. But the value that we see being consumed by all of our listeners and now our viewers is the thing that keeps us driving to create the content, because we could just get together and, have some cheeseburgers and fries or something ridiculous. But,
by and large, and people like our shtick So it seems to work,
Mhm.
and it surprises me a little bit sometimes, right? But like this guy, I've gotten feedback that like don't change the humor.
Yeah.
Like we change too much. Like be yourselves. People like the humor as long as I don't talk too much. But or whatever you want to call it, the way we
Right.
show up really resonates with folks.
Yeah. The funny thing was, my wife was talking to somebody last night, and she said, when you stand back and look at it, it's a relatively odd couple. When you when you pair us together, but
I would agree. I know.
and it's true, but it does work. We've over the years and just doing this hundreds of times, we've figured out a flow. We allow each other to have space. Yes, there's always cheap shots at Bob about talking too much, but like that's the running gag now. So we kind of have to own it. But we figured out how to have dialogue that matters and challenge each other along the way to think about things a little bit different, in hopes that as you listen or as you watch, you get that little something extra out of it.
And we've talked about this before too. It's the learning. I learn. You don't get challenged often enough in life. I think sometimes where someone challenges your assumptions, and we couch it. You and I couch it with jokes and humor and barbs and things. But it is common for me to walk away from the Metacast and be rethinking something, right? Seriously, something like I got a serious challenge in the Metacast, either directly or indirectly from you, or in the dialogue, or from a listener, and it's changing me. Like over the years that we've been doing this, I've changed my opinions, I've changed my thinking, and I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't be where I'm at today without that. So the learning is a really important part for me.
And it's always, and that challenge of, so this video is probably 4 or 5 minutes in, and we had no idea what we were going to talk about 7 minutes ago. But that challenge of, there's an interesting topic, let's just let our brains work and see what happens. And then we wander through and we have these discoveries along the way, which are of value to us and help us grow in the jobs that we do. But also it appears, as we get the feedback, that people like it as well, because everybody's wrestling with the same things. We're all wrestling with those things that are difficult and make life harder than we would like. But you, as our listeners and our viewers, are willing to put the time in to figure it out and make it better. And hopefully we help you along the way.
Something and I hope this comes off not obnoxiously, but I think we're genuine too. We walk our talk, and I don't know if everyone does. I don't think everyone does that. Like we're not perfect. So Metacast folks, I'm not. This is not ego, and I'm certainly not perfect with it. But damn it, I try really, really hard to walk my talk, and you try the same thing, right?
Yep.
So I think there's a genuineness to us, is what I'm thinking, that folks, they see through if we make a mistake, or we have an episode, people see the genuine us through it. I think sometimes our heart, maybe another way to say it is my heart is in the right place. Your heart is in the right place when it comes to agile principles and intention.
It's like it's at our core. It's who we are. It's how we operate, even when we're not at work. And this gets me in trouble sometimes with my wife, where I'm trying to optimize everything. And like, I can't, there's times where I have to learn to turn that off, so I don't destroy family life.
See, I've learned that a long time ago, people that do like Kanban boards on refrigerators and stuff. I've never done that.
Yeah.
Because I know I would be divorced and my kids would hate me and stuff. So I've never subjected, I put a container around it, for whatever reason, many, many years ago. And my wife understands it, but that. What else? I think that covers it.
Yeah, I do. I feel pretty good. I'm ready to wrap it up. You want to wrap this up, Bob?
Yeah.
I got a whole plan to wrap it up. We got like new things we have to say.
All right, say it.
We're on YouTube, so you have to hit the subscribe button because this is our first video. So if you want to be notified when the next one comes up, hit the notification bell, and anytime we post, you'll get alerted. So thanks for hanging out for our first video. Bob, is there anything we should say?
They're going to be short. They're going to be sweet. This was introductory. I think our intent is to have meaty snippets going forward, like really meaty, very focused snippets, like little learning chunks that have like high intensity value. So that's where we're going. I'm not sure we'll hit it, but we'll try.
We'll hit it.
We'll try.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
No. So we have to end it on video. We always do this with our podcast, but we're going to do it on video for the first time. So
Shake and Bake
yeah.
from beautiful downtown Fuquay Varina, North Carolina. I'm Bob Galen.
And I'm Josh Anderson.
Shake
and bake.
Take care, y'all. That was so silly.